No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting People Lease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now, 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Destructive storms blasted parts of the Midwest overnight. They spawned violent tornadoes that overturned cars and flipped mobile homes in southeastern Illinois, where crews rescued one woman who was trapped inside. WTTV's Kit Hanley at a damaged Kia dealership in Bloomington.
Damage in the back, planks of wood on the ground, mangled metal that is surrounding these Kias here. And this is really particularly sad because these aren't just new cars. These are people's cars who might be getting their cars worked on, or maybe even staff's cars.
Actor Eric Dane has died of ALS on the 20th anniversary of his first appearance on the show that made him a star.
Dane was best known for his role as Dr. Mark Sloan, a.k.a. McSteamy, on Grey's Anatomy.
The McSteamy face doesn't work on me. I'm immune.
You know, if I'd gone off to the woods, I would have invited you to keep me warm.
Dane also starred in Euphoria and Charmed, and the movies X-Men Last Stand and Burlesque. He announced his ALS diagnosis last April and became an advocate for ALS awareness. His family says he fought a courageous battle against the disease. Eric Dane was 53. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump is vowing really bad things will happen if nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran fall through.
We're going to make a deal, or we're going to get a deal one way or the other.
He says he'll decide on military strikes in the next 10 to 15 days. CBS's Jared Hill.
Amid diplomatic talks, sources tell CBS News Iran is seeking sanctions relief, and Tehran may be willing to buy American aircraft and offer possible access to oil and gas fields. Meanwhile, Tehran released video of the Iranian Navy holding joint exercises with Russia Thursday, a show of force in the face of escalating tensions.
The royal family's in damage control mode a day after the king's brother, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, was arrested, later released in connection with his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. India McTaggart with the Daily Telegraph.
I don't think anyone knew the extent of his association with Epstein, and that was really made clear in the latest tranche of Epstein files that were released at the end of January. So all this information is now coming to light that the Queen just couldn't have known.
He was considered to be his mother's favorite. The investigation continues. New findings on hunger and work. CBS's Michael George.
A study by the American Psychological Association found that people who experienced food insecurity, which is fear or anxiety over being able to afford food, performed much worse at their jobs and had lower engagement with their work. Food insecurity affects 13% of all Americans.
Dow futures down 23. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
Local news and weather brought to you by Mississippi Energy Services. We're your fast, affordable, and friendly generator service company. msenergy.us. msenergy.us.
A cyber attack puts the brakes on at UMMC. A 20% chance for showers with a high at 74 today. More rain tonight with a low at 61, and a chance for strong to severe storms for parts of Madison County and areas to the north and east.
The first episode will be late Friday night into Saturday morning, where the first front will come down and generally stall across the area.
Mike Edmonston, lead forecaster for the National Weather Service, says a second round of strong storms is possible Saturday afternoon, but mostly for East Mississippi. Saturday's high is 74. Sunday, sunny and 54. With news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. A crippling cyber attack at the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Dr. Luann Woodward, Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs at UMMC, says the attack has affected medical records and forced the closure of clinics and the cancellation of surgeries and procedures Thursday. She says it's still unclear how long this situation may last. Mississippi's graduation rate for high school is better than the national average, says the Mississippi Department of Education, releasing figures Thursday that shows 9 in 10 students that started high school in 2021 graduated last year. The national average is 86%. The dropout rate in the state is 7%. In the murder of Glendion Blackwell and the shooting of another person at the Grove Apartments on Grove Circle back on the 12th, a second teenager has been arrested, says JPD. That person is 17-year-old Jordan Champion, charged with murder and aggravated assault. A semi-pro baseball league will start this year in Jackson, says businessman Tim Bennett at a Thursday press conference. It's called the Legacy League with 6 teams from the Jackson area. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, jump away at the story. Chip away, that's what I wanna do. Sweet little mama, I wanna get next to you.
And good Friday morning. It is the Chip Matthews Show with the Dawn McKenzie. Ghosting me again today. She just can't hang. She just cannot hang, people. I get up. There are 2 of me. I cloned my body, and there's 2 of me. There's the daytime Chip, and then there's nighttime Chip. Won't the ladies be happy? But anyway, good morning, Andy Devine, Lloyd Travis, Jeff Thomas, and good morning to you. Of course, we'd like to thank everybody who came out for the fight thing last night at Beethoven's Boardwalk, where David Clements was in and spoke about election integrity and the things that go on with the election integrity. The Mississippi election integrity people were there, and we need to have all them together. And then there's also another speaking tonight in Oxford, Mississippi. And we need to get y'all informed. We're going to try to have some of these people online. Good morning, Shane Easley and Justin Dunn. Also, remember this weekend, hold on, before I go further there, let's also thank everybody from the Madison County Chamber. They were out last night for their 105th anniversary. Yes, 105 years of the Madison County Chamber of Commerce. The 105, and they did their 505 event. They had DJ out there, and they had some people out there. They had a girl that walked up to me and said, I hadn't seen you in 33 years. Boy, will that make you shake in your shoes for just a moment. But anyway, welcome back to the show. It's good to be here, and it's good to y'all want to be a part. We were gathering last night, and we're talking, and that's what we got to do in order to knock out this good morning, Joanna, this election integrity stuff and to get in control of our elections. And as we watched the 3D chess game play, and there was something that David Clement said last night that that struck me odd. He goes, basically, we're looking at what's going to happen probably is some sort of military coup at some point. And you're going, well, Chip, that's crazy talk. When I first came to work here at WYAB, you had Clay on the air and you had many people on the air, and they were talking about you need meal kits, you need this, you need to be working on your survival rate. You had Jameson Haygood telling you got to be ready, you got to be ready for the apocalypse. Well, y'all, look at the Epstein files. This is the way he kind of put it out last night. This is a theory that I brought up earlier this week, and I now that I see somebody else on a national level coming into the same thought process that I'm looking at, I go, So you had that, that senator from Kentucky who's a Republican who was fighting with Bondi saying, oh, you hid my name and then you put my name back out there. You were redacting things that you should redact. And, Bondi was being blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, what was Trump going to do when he went into the office the first time? Drain the swamp. Now he's calling for term limits. That has a plan for term limits. And so to help sell the term limits, because you're playing 3D chess here, because you have to get everybody on your side, what does he do? Epstein files. He holds them up, lets them go, holds them up. Then everybody goes. And then last night he was bringing up the fact that Trump only won this time around because they couldn't cheat him because he had Elon Musk on his team. And you go, well, why is Elon Musk that important? Elon Musk is considered the smartest man on the planet of Earth, especially when it comes to AI and technology. I mean, when NASA and Boeing and all of the other people lost a spaceship in the air with two people on board, who came to the rescue? Elon Musk. So you're in a situation now where at UMMC, all of us if you've ever been into a UMMC clinic or been associated with anything that went through there, and that would probably even mean if you went to school at Ole Miss, then all your stuff is a chance of being breached. And then the UMC officials have come out and said that they have been in contact with the attacker. So is this another ransom problem? Are they just wanting ransom? We have got to get to where we don't depend on the computer to tell us everything. And we've got to get to where we're people again. We have gotten ourselves, and that's what the government and everybody's trying to do. They're trying to get us in a situation to where everything we do at home. And they tell us what's going on. For instance, Amazon today surpassed Walmart in sales, in case you didn't know. And I don't believe, and for 17 years, Walmart's been the leader. Now Amazon has beat them. Now Amazon doesn't have stores that you go into and go shopping, but Walmart does. So at least at Walmart, you run into people and see people and you interact with people. But the government and the things that are growing and through the computer world, they want us in different rooms where they can control what they say. And that's the same thing that's happening in elections. I mean, do you remember when you used to go to elect and you went into a little booth and you pulled the curtain and your vote was secret, right? Now they want to be looking over your shoulder and see you sitting there when you vote. You looked at it that way? Then we were hearing last night that by law, the system, now the voting machine you're voting on in a precinct may not be connected to the internet, but the main counting machine at the courthouse must be able to connect to the internet, and so do the poll books. Now, in the poll books, we used to go in and physically sign our name, okay? That was the footprint. Now the footprint is electronic, and they can do whatever they want to there. And how many of y'all, when you sign your name now on an electronic pad, does it look like your signature at all? Okay, one more thing there. When you think about that, signing your name in a paper book and not a paper book and on a thing, they're just going to cheat you. They can do whatever they want. And that's what they say they're doing. They're saying there's an algorithm thing in there. Let's say, for instance, you run 30 test ballots through a machine. And then they say, see, there's nothing wrong. Then they say there's 31. So at 31, it would trigger, and they're all set up at different numbers. He says that would trigger an X amount of count to alternate whatever could have happened in the results of the first 30. Y'all need to go read his book. Y'all need to go check him out. David Clements, he's a professor, and he seems to have a little bit of a grip on it. Of course, a lot of us believe in space aliens and stuff, and they're out there because Obama said they weren't. And you know he's a liar. So they're out there, and Elon's out there talking to him. Elon may be one of them. Hell, I may be one of them. Ooh. But anyway, craziness on a Friday morning as I've been left here alone once again to play radio. Of course, remember, everybody, I mean, what kind of world do we live in? I mean, we live in a world where everything madness is occurring. Okay, so you can't trust your vote. Let's talk about this. The Chicago Bears are moving to Indiana? Excuse me? What kind of world do we live in where the Bears are going to be not in Chicago, playing at Soldier Field? They're going to be in Indiana. So what are they going to be? Indiana Bears? That sucks. Legendary Chicago Bears. But I can see the need of moving out of a Democratic city. You know, the blue cities of this country are blue for all the wrong reasons. And that's because politicians are in there. Look at New York. New York is a communist country now. Have any of y'all made plans to go to New York to visit? Go up there. Go hang out in a blue state. They may and wear your Trump shirt or red, white, and blue and see what happens. I mean, and you look at it and you go, there's no way these people voted to be communist. You think that election was possibly rigged? Y'all, rigged elections do happen. You're talking to a person here who went to court and a jury found that I was the only one to receive legal votes in the election. But the verdict was, and my opponent was by the jury said that they had not received one legal vote. But with the judge's help, an alleged Republican favored judge said, the will of the people in Canton would be that Dr. Truly should be the mayor. And then that's what happened. And then what else happened in that election? Okay. The election commission knew that there were issues in the ballots. There were 2 different ballots. There was this, there was that. And the election commission the elected election commission did not want to certify the election and never did. But state law in Mississippi says that the election commission must file the report and agree to the winner. That doesn't mean that they're allowed to get in conflict with the winner. When they did not want to file, when they did not want to sign the results because they said the results was tainted, Michael Watson, our Secretary of State, sued the city of Canton to certify the election. And when they certified that election in Canton, what did they do? The election officials did not certify it, the ones that were elected. They just created a new commission, appointed one, and certified the election. Those people should have been put in jail by Bubba Bramlett for impersonating an officer. I turned in paperwork that said that. These people are impersonating public officials. So what you're telling me is if enough of us got together and we're talking and we don't want to listen to the elected sheriff in town, we can just replace the sheriff and say, we don't care if he won. We don't care. We don't care who won. We're going to do it this way. That's wrong. You just can't take over somebody's job when they were elected. And then when they put them all in jail, when they put politicians in jail, what happens? What happens when they put politicians in jail? Well, in Canton, you had 2 aldermen that pled guilty to stealing money at CMU, which we're all paying for. They didn't go back and get it from them. We're all paying for it as you look at your bigger bills. And then on top of that, in the elections that they cheated, all of a sudden you have the proof of what they were doing to people like me and to people like Debbie Brzezinski, who was running against some of those people and other people that were running for office. They picked who they wanted to win, and they did it. And the state government did not step in to help because they have no power. But when the people locally wanted to do something different, when the jury wanted to do something different, the state said that they had the power. So either you got the power or you don't got the power. Make up your mind. You sued the city of Canton for results when they didn't want to do it. But you say all the time you don't have any power. But all that had to do with Amazon because y'all wanted to make sure that the status quo stayed the same and nobody would ever get in charge to where they could change anything that was going on with their future plans of stealing the money from the people to build Amazon. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show with Dawn McKenzie, wherever she is, on WYAB. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show with Dawn McKenzie, wherever she is.
1039 WYAB.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi, my name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
I am Wayne Lloyd, Delta Farm Services, LLC. We do all types of dirt work, excavation, dozer work, land leveling. We do building pads, commercial ponds and lakes, residential ponds and lakes, anything with dirt work. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Google Delta Farm Services, LLC, or find them on Facebook. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
At Bank of Yazoo, we believe that common sense makes for better banking. That's why we've taken our array of checking accounts and simplified them for you, boiling down features and benefits to create our New You, Achieve You, Benefit You, and Protect You checking accounts. Ready to discover how simple is better? Talk with us today. Bank of Yazoo, Bank of You. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Alan Allen, nurse practitioner at the MEA Medical Clinic in Flora, Mississippi. Located in the Cotton Exchange Plaza, we're here to provide patient-centered care that is thorough, compassionate, and convenient. Whether you need primary care services or same-day medical care when you aren't feeling your best, we're here to support your health.
MEA Medical Clinics. Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Mon. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
We would like to invite you to visit our retirement community, which is not only beautiful, but affordable as well. I'm Rhonda Brown, director at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland. Our team members are passionate about making our residents' life easier and more enjoyable. We have fun-filled educational and entertaining activities, plus daily exercise that will help with your stamina and balance. Call us at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland, 601-856-6131.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, I am Chip Matthews. You are exactly who you are, and welcome to everybody around the world listening to the show and around the state. And we had people from all over the state yesterday in town at the Beethoven's Boardwalk. I want to thank y'all in for the Fight event. We're getting more and more people involved, and we got to get more and more people involved in the election cycle and understanding how the system works, because the state lawmakers don't really know everything about what they're voting for. They're going, oh, we have this and we're promising and we're not going to do it to the internet. Yet, federal funding that comes into the state, this is where the federal government is going to get control of part of our state elections, okay? And they're only getting part of the part that is for the Congress and the House, okay, for anything to do with anybody going to Washington. And that's because they take money from the federal government. So they have to be connected to the federal government. And that's what they do through the internet. And the moment they say they're going to cut out the fund, if you don't do it, then they're just going to cut your funding. And we need some kind of oversight in all of America. And Donald J. Trump would have control over whether or not Cindy Hyde-Smith gets a fair race or not. And they're saying that the biggest problem is in the primaries in red states. Because in red states, that we all know that once you get the incumbent in place, or you get the favored Republican that the party wants in place, that person's going to win the primary, because they're not running into any real competition in the November race, except for in Mississippi, where they do the reverse in District 2. They really don't care who the Republican is, because even the Republicans are going to vote for the Democrat. Yeah, Benny Thompson. Yet the Republican leadership of Mississippi is a bunch of rhinos, and don't think that it's not. They have too many rhino politics. Now, there's some that have some conservative values. There are some Republicans who actually believe that their friends who got them in the party or are involved or walking around elected with the R on their chest are Republicans. But they don't, all they do is expand our bills. Being Republican means small government, allegedly. And it means we're going to cut taxes. You're not going to be trying to pass a tax and pass another gambling bill. You're not going to be wanting to open up on Sunday. Everybody drinks, we haven't had no problem not buying liquor on Sunday, right? No problem. There, except for some people that miss the liquor store on Saturday night. But those people that drink, on Sunday they can drink. So what do? They tear up the ABC the last few weeks. That may be an end to figure out how to do more things and get the big box stores to take over the ABC. Okay, this is all about big box money. They're fixing to get you drugs and get rid of mom and pop in the drug business. Now they said now we got to get into we're bigger in the sin business, so we're going to jump in here and take over this liquor thing, and we'll get 7-day-a-week sales. They'll put it in convenience stores. They'll put it in the Krogers and the stores and all your little small operators, which for years. You got to understand the liquor law of Mississippi says if you have a liquor store, you can only have one liquor store. Now, never mind, liquor stores do well. Don't get me wrong. But the government they've decided they're not hurting many people by getting them out of business. So what do? They go over to ABC. Now, we all know that ABC has built a new warehouse in Canton, and they're going to move into it like in March or May or whenever of next year. Okay. So meanwhile, at their main warehouse, they decide they're going to take inventory, something I don't believe they've ever done. So they shut down liquor distribution. Then while they've got it shut down, they decide to take out all the conveyor belts. And then they decide to put in a new computer system. Now we're running 6 to 8 weeks behind in shipping liquor orders. They weren't accepting orders from other people bringing in liquor. They were emptying the warehouse. Okay. So now in order to fix it, what do you do to fix it? How do you fix it? I mean, these people are you take a system that already was failing. The ABC network was already failing as far as distribution. Enforcement and all that's doing just fine. The interlocking of the people that work in there are fine. But the people that control what goes on there, who are appointed by the governor and different people from around the state, these are appointments, and they go in there and just say, we're going to do this, this, and this, and that's that. And then the next thing you know, nobody, you're doing without your liquor on the shelves and your wine on the shelf. And what do they want to vote on? They want to ship it directly to your house. Okay, that goes back to that Amazon thing I was talking about, where Amazon is taking over for Walmart. They don't want you going anywhere. They want you sitting at home, doing whatever you do, and not going out. Because if you're at home and not talking to other people or seeing other people, they control you. And I would never think that our state legislature was a part of that. But the big box money, the big money coming into the market is going, we got to control the people. And to control the people, we got to control the laws. So they don't give us back a ballot initiative where we can help them. And they say all kind of things there. This is where people can't take control. No, they have control. The big box stores, the lobbyists, they all have control. They talk about Cindy Hyde-Smith and her trips to the other side, going to Vegas and all these places. They have control. They have control of everything. And I bet you the sports betting world, they took Jason White last year to the Super Bowl. I wonder how many people went and watched football all this year with the lobbyists. And they hadn't. You don't hear a lot about the sports betting bill, but it's going to pass because they want it to fund PERS. Yeah. And Colorado, just when I was talking about this a few weeks ago, people said you're funny. You're lying. You're just trying to be a shocker by saying that they're going to tax prostitution. Well, in Colorado, which we do everything Colorado does because they pass pot, we pass pot, right? And try to get control of it. Well, they're about to pass prostitution in Colorado. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Did they want to? Will that wind up here as another tax revenue in the state of Mississippi? We'll have to watch and see. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. In the state of Mississippi? We'll have to watch and see. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB.
103.9 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Serpent Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
CBS News Brief. Tornadoes swept parts of the Midwest overnight. One twister tore apart a bank in Bloomington, Indiana. CBS's Tom Hansen is there.
The facade has been shredded, parts of the roof even caving in on people who were going through this kiosk. It's just one testament to how powerful these near hurricane force winds were.
Euphoria. Grey's Anatomy star Eric Dean has died months after he revealed he had Lou Gehrig's disease.
That'll never been my strong suit. So, do you ever go out with coworkers?
After his diagnosis, Dean guest starred as an ALS patient on Brilliant Minds. He was 53. President Trump's issued a new threat to Iran.
Doesn't happen, I maybe can understand. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But bad things will happen if it doesn't.
He says he'll decide on military strikes in the next 10 to 15 days. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Lime Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
At Center for Orthodontics, we believe in family, tradition, and community. From kids to adults, Sandifer offers state-of-the-art orthodontic care with complimentary consultations, so everyone in the family can smile with confidence. Sandifer Orthodontics proudly supports Tri-County Academy and the Building on Tradition campaign, so a short drive to local businesses like Sandifer helps TCA thrive. Begin the journey to a beautiful smile at sandiferortho.com. Sandifer Orthodontics, Highland Village, Jackson, and Gateway Drive in Brandon.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the Chip Matthews Show. Welcome to Friday, everybody's favorite day of the week. Has there ever been anybody that didn't like Friday? That's why they called that restaurant Fridays. We dressed that restaurant like Fridays at Beethoven's Boardwalk. I mean, a lot of the greatest restaurateurs in Jackson worked at the Fridays here in Jackson, and a lot of people don't realize that it was the second or third in America before it was bought out. The franchise was bought out. But anyway, the Chip Matthews Show is brought to you by the Pierce Professional Agency. Planning for the future and long-term care and independence and safeguarding your savings, you need to go see Cressley, where he makes sure that you are having something in your nest egg in the future. Your retirement nest egg stays intact. You don't put a burden on your loved ones. Go see Cressley Pierce at the Pierce Professional Agency. Let's see, where is it? Visit MadisonPlans.com for more information. Oh yeah. Okay, y'all. So let's talk about this. The moral consciousness. Okay, that's where I'm at. The government does not have a conscience of the majority of the people. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is like a pot. As I was driving into work this morning, dodging deer on the Natchez Trace, I was going, that's what's wrong. We don't have a conscience. That's why we're able to tax people, and then they say, well, we need some more money. We'll just make sports betting legal, and then you go, well, people are betting on it anyway. We just need to get our taxes off of it. Just because people are doing it doesn't mean we need to make it legal. Okay, people are doing drugs, so we decide we're going to make drugs legal. We follow the other states. Never mind in America, in all of America, even Obama's America, even Joe Biden's America, even in Trump's America, no one has made pot legal all across the country. Now, they didn't reschedule the drug, but they didn't make it legal. You understand? So you have some states that have made it legal because the moral consciousness of that state is not what it needs to be. And in Mississippi, where Bible Belt, we should have been more adamant about what we were doing. Thank God. I mean, if the people vote to have it, that doesn't mean we need it. Does that make any sense to you? Do you understand? It does, I'm sure if Epstein were alive today, he would be trying to pass the bill to make sure that minors and paying for sex is legal, right? Isn't that what he would want? And just because everybody's doing it, and we're going to find out everybody in Congress was doing it. We're going to find out everybody in Washington has been to Epstein Island. That Trent Lott's name comes up in the books on who's been to Epstein Island. Of course, local media has not picked that up and gone anywhere with it, especially any of the Republican radio stations that exist or the TV stations. They haven't picked it up and run with that yet because the media controls what we do. And they have to keep it at a certain balance, even when they're being very Democrat sometimes. They keep it at a certain balance because they have something to do. Let's see if somebody's going to get on me on the phone. YB, you're on the air. Hello.
Chip Matthews.
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. If you're not going to add to this conversation, I don't want to hear just a bunch of fluff. Go ahead.
No, it's not going to be a bunch of fluff. I don't come with a bunch of fluff.
Sometimes
I couldn't call earlier because I was kind of tied up. But I want to speak on the fact that the warehouse getting an updated system.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you got a 50-50 chance of a bad system or a good system. And just because the system works in one of your locations doesn't mean it's going to work in another.
Correct.
By trade, I am a welder.
Right.
Professionally, I do inventory management.
Right.
So I have seen systems come in and the system crash, and it's not communicating as it should to the lines and the robots and stuff like this. So I'm not going to say that the government tainted that for that to happen. Nissan went through a similar issue 2 years ago.
Right.
The company I work for went through a similar issue a year ago. So when systems come in place and you add new processes or something that's supposed to be faster and more sufficient, sometimes you got to work out the kinks.
Well, my question to you is this. If you built a new building, why wouldn't you just go and install it there and run some test projects there? What they did at this warehouse, remember, they took out all the conveyor belts.
Yeah.
Okay. That way where they can load them by hand.
I'm 100% with you on that.
Okay.
It should have been tested
right
at the new location, not the old location.
Right. And they should have just should have been moving forward because the old location wasn't working good either.
Well, what is the time frame for the new location to be open?
Right. How long? May of next year. May of next year.
That's a year away, Chip. They may needed it to improve before then.
They needed to improve it since you don't understand. They needed to improve it back during COVID, and then they finally got it to where it was running. Now you have liquor stores that will go out of business because they do not have the product. And I think it's a goal to not have the product so that they can do the same thing they're doing to the mom and pop pharmacy stores, to put them out of business so that the big box stores can take over selling liquor 7 days a week. And what do? They have a bill on the floor to where liquor stores can be open 7 days a week now. How about that? You think but I'm crazy, and you're just being a Democrat defending it.
No, I'm not defending you being crazy, but I am. I was on the column to speak on the fact of logistics.
I understand logistics.
The reality and the perception of what happened, I can't speak to that because I haven't done enough reading or enough digging into that. But I do know when new systems come in.
Right.
I wouldn't have put a new system into an old building.
Yeah, that would be
moved in a year. But I don't know the time frame of how much time they had left on that old system.
Well, let's put it this way: logistics needs to have some logic. Okay, and logic would have said, okay, we're gonna keep using this system until it doesn't work anymore, and we'll move over to the new system, right? When we get in the new building. Yeah.
Well, that's more logical, yeah.
Okay, and you know, that's just common theory. That's sort of like the government. It doesn't work on logic at all, not anywhere. They're crazy, and you know you got people trying to do school choice, but what they're really trying to do is create a revenue stream of money to go to charter schools and private schools instead of fixing the public school system.
Republican governor appoint this person to be over this ABC warehouse?
Yeah, the government, they've been doing that for years, and the Republican government may not be a Republican government, just maybe a bunch of rhinos. They just it's just like in Canton in Madison County. The supervisors decide who's going to work, where we're going to work, and what we're going to do. And then right now you're talking about the money that was just the House is fixing to do to expand the roads at Gluckstadt, right? What did they do also in that bill? What did they do also in that 55 in fixing that 55 corridor? They slid in on the backside the money to build the road that the governor wanted built back when he was running for office down Lakeland Drive. Lakeland Drive doesn't need to be in water. All the way to Canton needs to be wider, but no, they're going to take some money and go out there and fix that neighborhood problem that the governor had previously. That was part of his campaign issue when they went into the thing, and he said, no, we're not doing that, right? But all of a sudden in the Canton bill, in the Madison County bill, they don't come to Canton. They go, we're going to extend the thing up to Madison, and we're going to give them bridges at Reunion to get down on the interstate. And they're not doing anything to help us. And then they slide in, Lakeland Drive's going to get some of that money. Are you there? Did you hang up? Democrats. But that's what's going on. People tell us what we're doing and then lie to us. You know, you get money for one thing and then they do another. You know, and it's everything we get. You figure it out. I mean, if you're going to expand the road, and look, the whole idea of widening the interstate to Canton is to relieve the traffic of all the jobs that are being created at the mega site. Okay. And then they got a new mega site that's going to be the new place that actually recycles the water. And it's going to be connected to the water coming from Beatty's Bluff. There's so much problems with Beatty's Bluff and all of that we're all paying for it anyway. That's why our water bills are through the roof. We, the taxpayers, are the ones that are paying for all the infrastructure for billion-dollar businesses. And that's what's going on. And if you're not paying a higher bill, that's just the tax, y'all. The tax they were going to take away. Now, they didn't take away all the tax. They said, we're going to be a tax-free state. And then you're still paying taxes everywhere. They lowered the sales tax and then allowed the cities to go back and add a penny here and 2 pennies there. You know, work within your means. When they needed to build a park in Ridgeland and you're going to reduce taxes, find another way to pay for that park. You know, get that billionaire that has the tequila that wants to build the convention center. All that is rezoning of some property to where they get some buddies doing this, and There you go. It's the buddy system. The public-private entities like Makita and all of that. Why don't we all should be sharing in the Makita money? It belongs to us. And I promise you, if Nissan left tomorrow, you would find out that we own the building that Nissan is in. And it's, that's your building. You got to keep it up. You got to pay for that. Same for all these AI centers. And look, they may be building them all over the country now, but I can remember when a cell phone was huge and had 4 big batteries in it. And now it's a little thing you put in your pocket, and they can make it smaller. You know, you got more power in the current cell phone than the old one had. You know, used to your phone had to be connected to the wall in the house, you know, not in your pocket. Some of them, you don't even have a phone in your house anymore. I mean, think about it. Amazon, all of that that's being built out there with 20, 30, 40 buildings is going to eventually be reduced down to 1, or it's going to be all put in the sky in the cloud, and we're not going to need it anymore. They're going to figure out a way to energize it with solar power. And where's the best place to go get solar power? Out in space when you're right by the sun. You're closer to the sun. We can get it up there. And then we don't have to worry about buildings or anything getting in the way of our solar power. This is all Tesla stuff. This is Nissan. When I say Tesla, I'm talking about Nikola Tesla. And, you know, Elon Musk had made a fortune off of the technology of Nikola Tesla, which has always been there, but because big government got on the backs with J.P. Morgan and them, if you go back and look at the story of Edison and how they went after Tesla to knock him down. They didn't want his electricity. They wanted Edison's electricity because they owned it. So they did all of that to make all this money. Meanwhile, Tesla technology would send power to your house without a wire there. And you're going, well, that's insane. That would never happen. Your phone soon will be charged through the air. Okay? You won't do it any other way. And then your phone also, the technology is there. It's already receiving signals without a wire. Your phone used to have a wire. Phone doesn't need a wire now to receive a signal. You know, it used to be satellite cell towers that were in radio waves. That's not. It's all different now. It's all digital. It's all changing fast. A lot of that technology was invented at WorldCom, then stolen from those people, and then all of us who had money invested into WorldCom lost money, put Bernie away. But that was because big government was in the Bell business, and it wasn't the Ebers business. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show and wrap up this day. And it wasn't on a Friday. Ebers business. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show and wrap up this day.
1039 WYAB.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi, my name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
Get ready, Jackson, for 2 big nights at Martin's Downtown. Mustache the Band is bringing the party as the official Dixie National Rodeo After Show on Friday, February 20th and Saturday, February 21st. It's a 90s country party with high-energy live music and a crowd that's ready to have a good time. Links for tickets are on the Martin's Downtown Facebook page. Don't miss Mustache the Band live at Martin's Downtown, February 20th and 21st.
Homeowners and business owners, are your gutters and roof storm ready? The folks at Elite Roofing and Gutters are your local experts in storm protection. The team is dedicated to fortifying your residential or commercial location against the elements. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Elite Roofing and Gutters, online at eliteroofer.com. EliteRoofer.com.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Need to ship something fast? Print something now? Or wrap the perfect gift? Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt, your one-stop shop for all major shipping carriers. We pack and ship with care, offer private mailbox rentals, copy services, create and print banners, print your photos, lamination, binding, and secure document shredding. We always have a notary available, and we do gift wrapping too. Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt across from Callaway's or online at mailroomgluckstadt.com. Stop in today and get it all done in one place.
Where do you stand in the pro-life community? If you're passionate about protecting the sanctity of life from fertilization to natural death, please join us at Pro-Life Mississippi as we make a difference and save lives right here in our own state. Pro-Life Mississippi is a community of individuals dedicated to equipping others to value all human life, including the preborn, those with disabilities, and the elderly. Our mission is simple: to provide unwavering support, education, and advocacy for the preborn, their families, and other vulnerable children and adults. If you're just starting your pro-life journey or you have been an advocate of life for many years, Pro-Life Mississippi needs your voice and talents to save lives in Mississippi. Together, we can make a difference in building a stronger pro-life Mississippi. Learn more about us at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Be part of the community that celebrates each and every human life.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
I am Chip Matthews. She, of course, is Dawn McKenzie, and she, of course, has been nice today and not opened her mouth and had a word to say. She's not here. She's feeling under the weather. Can't speak today. She had been out to the Beethoven's last night for the fight thing, and we had David Clements there. Kim Wade was there also, and he was there listening and enjoying the conversation. You need to find out what's going on, y'all. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and he diffused some of them yesterday. And, you know, and a lot of things he talks about is the elections and the military getting involved and the federal government getting involved. Now, we see Trump slowly going it, and they're going to try to say that Trump is being corrupt and being a military dictator. No, he's doing exactly what he says with the Epstein files. He's draining the swamp. Doesn't matter if you're a Republican. Doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. We're going to get you out of there. And in the beginning of that, if you look at it, it's like a 3D blackmail situation, which is really in blackmail. It's like, it's the truth. And these people need to resign and go home, the ones that have been in office for 30, 40, 50 years. And you go, ain't nobody been in long. Benny's, 38 years? You know, when you start looking at it, it's insane. It's insane to think that somebody could go to Congress and control our lives for that long and not ever be uprooted by anyone. But when you look at it, that is what's going on. And Trump is going to drain the swamp. And look at those. Look at what Trump, I mean, the state legislature already knows that the J6 stuff was a bunch of lies. Why don't they censor Benny? When Benny made a comment about the National Guard people getting murdered. Oh, it was an unfortunate accident. No, he should have been censored then. What are we doing? Why are y'all afraid of Benny? Why do y'all own Benny's side? How many of y'all are on Epstein Island? How many of y'all been in at the state legislature for all these years and you know about the kids from Piney Woods that were being shipped to Epstein Island for weekends? And then, of course, paying for their college education in the future. Because, 15, 16, 17-year-old would love to go hang out on an island with rich people and go do this, that, and the other and being allowed to do whatever. They may, what's the difference? You go there and do it, and then they come back and they go to Syracuse and go to different places and go to school and everything's paid for. And they probably got cars and, these rich billionaires were doing it. Bill Gates, people like that, they got money to throw away. So do these politicians because they get it from the lobbyists, and they're all getting money from the lobbyists. Don't think they're not. And we're just years away, just a few years away. We'll be taxing prostitutes, and they'll say, we're going after the people that are laying down in the beds. We can't have that. Oh, well, I'll see y'all Monday morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. The Clay Edwards Show is next right here over most of this same radio station. Gun and Knife Night, 6 o'clock. Don't miss it. Get your guns out.